Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am here to finally talk about wedding perfumes. So I have been putting off doing this video for a while because I know that picking your fragrance on the day that you are going to get married is a very personal thing, and I don't want to act like I'm an expert or because when I tell you that I did not pick a good fragrance for my own wedding, I did not pick a good fragrance for my own wedding. I absolutely regret what I was wearing on my wedding day, except for that my husband loved it, and so, which was really why I chose what I did, was because I chose a fragrance more for him than I did for myself, and I do really regret it. I do wish I had picked something else. Just to let you know, I wore Gucci Guilty on my wedding day. It is a very nice fragrance, but it's just really not my style. It's very designer, like department store perfume counter smelling. There's nothing special about it. It's just not even my cup of tea now. Back then, I got married in 2011 and it was quite new. From what I remember, I think it was quite new on the market, and my husband and I smelled it and he really enjoyed it, so I was like, okay, well, I'll wear it. Thankfully, I only ordered like a little small mini of it to wear on my wedding day because I didn't love it. And that mini has since disappeared and I don't even know where it is. So anyways, with all that being said, I've got 15 different fragrances here. Most of these are like universal, I think they could work for anybody's wedding, any time of day, whatever kind of style of wedding you're having. But then I also picked a couple that are very specific because I know some people have some very kind of specific weddings, and so I chose a couple for that, and I will let you know as we talk about those. So let's just jump right in. So the first one, sorry, there's a hair on my camera. The first one that I chose is Mon Guerlain from Guerlain. This, I mean, is just a perfect fragrance, period, in my opinion. But vanilla, lavender, it's gorgeous. This lasts really well on the skin. I've got the eau de toilette, and I feel like the eau de parfum would probably last a lot longer. That's another thing. I tried to pick perfumes that will get you through your whole wedding day, because that's one of the regrets I had, is Gucci Guilty is horrible as far as performance goes, and it was gone within the first 2 hours after, and you couldn't smell perfume on me anymore after that, which made me sad. But so yeah, Mon Guerlain I just think would be a perfect universal wedding fragrance. It's beautiful, it's feminine, it's very universally liked, it's a crowd pleaser for the most part. I have heard some people that don't like this fragrance, but I can't imagine that anybody would be offended by it. It's just gorgeous. It's soft, it's romantic, it's like everything you would want in a wedding fragrance. So that is the first one that I chose, Guerlain Mon Guerlain. The second one I chose is one that I think would be perfect if you were having a spring or a summer wedding. This is brand new to my collection. This is Dolce & Gabbana Garden. So I had my wedding outdoors. If I could go back in time, and if this, I don't know that this fragrance was even around yet when I got married, but if I could pick a new wedding fragrance, I think this one would be it. Because like I say, I got married outdoors. I got married in the summertime in June. And it's just such a gorgeous fragrance. This is flowers and coconut and almond milk. It's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful, sweet, creamy, wet, juicy floral. And I just think it would make a wonderful wedding fragrance. So again, that is Dolce & Gabbana Dolce Garden. Okay, the next one I chose is one of the ones that is very specific. So this is a specific fragrance to people who have very fancy weddings, like very fancy black tie, and the weddings happen at night or in the evening. And this is Armaf Club de Nuit Intense. And this is of course for women. Or this is a dupe of Tom Ford Noir de Noir. So this is a beautiful, heavy, incensey rose fragrance. It's got some oud in it. It's just stunning. if I were having like a really fancy black tie, like expensive wedding, this is what I would want my scent to be, because it's so gorgeous and expensive smelling. This lasts absolutely forever on the skin, and you are definitely going to stand out. It smells classy. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous rose fragrance. And I feel like it would just make such a great wedding fragrance if you were having kind of a later wedding. So again, that is Club de Nuit Intense from Armaf. Okay, and then back to your kind of just normal weddings. We're getting married in the afternoon, you know, and possibly getting married outside, or just any kind of wedding. I think that Juicy Couture, just the original fragrance, would be a great wedding fragrance. This is a beautiful white floral tuberose fragrance. It's just like exactly what you think of when you think of a wedding fragrance. It's sweet, it's beautiful, it lasts pretty good on the skin, and I just think it would be a really great wedding fragrance. So again, that is Juicy from Juicy Couture. Okay, another one that again would just be a great wedding fragrance is Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet. So my only complaint about this one is that it's not going to get you through your whole day. Like, you would need to keep something like this around and reapply it probably 4 times throughout your wedding day, because it is going to wear off. However, with that being said, this is just a beautiful, light, sweet, feminine floral fragrance. It's very romantic smelling. It's a super crowd pleaser. I get compliments every time I wear this fragrance. People love fragrances like this. It's just a beautiful, light, sweet floral that I think would be perfect for especially a spring or a summer wedding. So again, that is Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet. Okay, another one that is new to my collection, and as soon as I got this and tested it, I knew it would be a wonderful wedding fragrance. This is La Perla. This is from the La Perla collection, and this is Contemporary Tuberose. This would be like, if I didn't go with Dolce Garden, I would have gone with this. This is just a beautiful tuberose fragrance, but it's not overly sweet. It's not like a indolic or animalic tuberose in any way. It's a slightly sweet, very beautifully blended, soft, almost fuzzy, almost like a honeyed tuberose. It's just really, really beautiful. It would be, this lasts a long, long time on the skin as well. It wouldn't be like too loud. It wouldn't be overly like, it's not like an overly loud tuberose fragrance. It's just a beautifully blended, soft floral, or sorry, soft, kind of sweet tuberose. It's just really lovely. So again, that is La Perla Collection Contemporary Tuberose. Okay, and in that same line, there is another fragrance called White Iris. This one is also new to my collection. And this is another one that when I smelled it, I felt like it would make a great wedding fragrance. But this is going to be for somebody who's looking for something a little bit more romantic smelling, a little bit more, like I could see somebody who's having like a vintage themed wedding, or a really like ethereal, romantic, like a garden wedding or something like that. I could totally see that, but I could really see somebody who is having like a vintage themed wedding wearing this, because this smells like vintage makeup. It's just a beautiful powdery iris, heliotrope, almond, tonka, vanilla. It's just got so many beautiful notes in it, and like I say, it's just a beautiful powdery makeup iris perfume that lasts absolutely forever on the skin. So I think this would be really cool for like a vintage themed wedding. Really any wedding I think it would work for, but I just have this vintage style in my mind for that one. Okay, the next one is, this is a very simple perfume. So this fragrance is made up of just 2 notes, synthetic tuberose and synthetic sandalwood. And it's beautiful. This is a beautiful, light, bright, airy, woody floral. It is very clean smelling. This lasts a long time on my skin, but it's just a beautiful, clean, slightly sweet, woody floral. But the sandalwood in it it's not like too woody. It's just, it gives the most beautiful, like, softness. This one is not overly sweet. Again, this is very clean smelling. It's very modern smelling. It's very feminine, just beautiful. This is another one that would have been on my list for a wedding fragrance for myself if I could redo it, because this is just beautiful. This, I could see really any bride wearing this, but I could definitely see like a more modern bride or somebody having kind of like a more modern wedding wearing something like this. I also have the Stella McCartney Bluebell, or Pop Bluebell, I think is what it's called. That would be a beautiful wedding fragrance as well. That one's a little bit more like traditional Bluebell smelling rather than the tuberose. So anyways, either of them would be really beautiful wedding fragrances, and again, that is Stella McCartney Pop. The next one, I just have a little mini of this, and I have my little lid taped on because these are little mini Penhaligons that I have, and this, I broke this my little thing off, and unfortunately when I did that, all of the liquid completely evaporated, so that's what I'm left with. But this is Empressa from Penhaligons, and this to me smells a lot like this smells a lot like Coco Mademoiselle from Chanel, but I like this one a lot better. There's something about this that's a little bit softer. It's a little bit more well blended. It's just a really beautiful, what I think, again, would make a really beautiful wedding fragrance for like a modern bride. Somebody that's really somebody that wants to smell expensive but still romantic and still just beautiful smelling. This would be a great, just like universal wedding fragrance, I think, for anybody. So again, that is Empressa from Penhaligons. Okay, another mini that I have. This is Rouge Trafalgar from Christian Dior. Again, just a perfect wedding fragrance. This is a beautiful, sweet rose fragrance, but this is very modern smelling. It's very fresh. It's very feminine and, like I say, modern. This one, the only thing about this, I think this has some vanilla in it. It's got a beautiful, like, creaminess to it. It smells like probably there are some berries in the top, rose in the middle, and maybe some vanilla and woods in the base. I'm just guessing. I don't know for sure without having it written down in front of me, but that's what I smell kind of off the bat. I think it would be a gorgeous, gorgeous wedding fragrance, but this one does not last very long. So again, you would have to have your bottle with you, and you would have to reapply it probably every few hours, I would say. So again, that is Rouge Trafalgar, and that is from Christian Dior. That's one of those that would just be a special wedding fragrance, I think, because I don't think a lot of people would choose that, and I just think it would be very unique to you. Okay, the next one we have to talk about is one that is quite expensive, but I think would be a really beautiful wedding fragrance. This is Orlov from Orlov Paris. So this is a beautiful, sweet, slightly musky floral. It's beautiful. It's very expensive smelling. This is another one that, had I had this at the time, I think would have been a very good wedding fragrance for myself, for being outside. It's just beautiful. It's sweet. It's floral, but without being too floral. It's almost got like a hint of fruitiness to it, but without smelling fruity. If that makes any sense, it's very hard to explain. This is just blended so beautifully. It's so expensive smelling, it's sweet, and like I say, a little bit musky. Just gorgeous. I love this fragrance. Again, that is Orlov from Orlov Paris. The next one I have to talk about is a classic, and I think that this would just be, this is one of those fragrances that is just so classic, it would make the perfect fragrance for literally any wedding, any occasion, any style, any time. This is Chloe from Chloe. This is a gorgeous, clean, soapy floral fragrance. And I just think that it would be the perfect wedding fragrance. It's gorgeous. It's feminine and romantic. It's very clean smelling. It's floral without being overly floral. Even though it is, you know, quite a rose forward fragrance, it's still not like, it's still not, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's very classic smelling, it's very classy smelling, and I just feel like it would be the perfect wedding fragrance. So again, that is Chloe from Chloe, the new version, not the old version. The next one is one that I feel like would be a great wedding fragrance for like a modern wedding. This is Ariana Grande Cloud. Now, I don't know how many people would want to say or admit that this is their wedding fragrance, just because, I don't know, and I shouldn't say that. There's nothing wrong with this fragrance. I adore it. Anybody who has been watching my channel for any amount of time knows that I adore this fragrance, but this is beautiful. I think this would be beautiful for, again, like a modern, contemporary wedding. I think somebody wearing like a cool, very modern looking dress, clean lines, straight lines, you know, just like maybe a simple ponytail, slicked back ponytail hair, simple makeup. I feel like somebody like that could pull this off for a wedding fragrance. It's sweet, but not overly sweet. It's got just a hint of coconut in it, but not enough that people would detect coconut on you. It's fuzzy smelling, it's warm smelling, it's just beautiful. It does resemble Baccarat Rouge 540, though now that I have come across so many perfumes that are actual dupes of that fragrance, this isn't so much a dupe in my mind anymore. This has definitely become like its own thing to me now, but it's just beautiful. I just feel like it would be a really, really nice wedding scent for, like I say, somebody that is having a very modern wedding, or really for anybody. I mean, I don't think that you wouldn't even need to have any kind of a style or whatever. I just feel like this would be a pretty wedding scent. So again, that is Cloud from Ariana Grande. And then the last one that I want to talk about is another one that would have been a contender for my own wedding fragrance, and this is Michael Kors Sexy Amber. So it would have to be a very confident bride to be able to pull this off for their wedding, but I would have totally rocked this on my wedding day. This is gorgeous. This is sweet, musky, sexy, sexy amber. That's exactly what it is. It's just a beautiful fragrance. I can't imagine anybody not liking the smell of this on another person. Like I say, it's just a beautiful, sweet, musky, skin-like amber. It's gorgeous. I love this fragrance, and it would be very, this is one of those that it would be a very unique wedding fragrance, and I think only certain people would be able to pull this one off, but I do think that it would be a very appropriate, very beautiful wedding fragrance. So anyways, guys, I have so many more in my collection that I feel like could be beautiful wedding fragrances. If you want to see a part 2 to this, I could absolutely do a part 2 because I've got so many more. I had such a hard time paring it down to just 15. So yeah, definitely let me know if you'd like to see a part 2. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know what your wedding fragrance was. I would love to hear about your guys' wedding day fragrances, or what you think would be good wedding day fragrances. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.